when I first heard about Ben's work, I had an instant resistance. And in that moment of turning away and thinking, oof, no, I knew that that was the work that I'd have to do, because whenever I've had a big breakthrough on my own healing journey, which I've been on for over 10 years, that resistance has always indicated that there's a real gift there for me. So I just knew at that point that I wasn't ready. I'm not sure ultimately what brought me to a place of feeling courageous enough to go into this, but probably just a culmination of a lot of devotional practice, devotional introspection, you know, deeply desiring to understand myself at a deeper level, to grow and expand. So I feel like the time was just divinely timed. So the de-armoring I didn't really understand from an embodied perspective, because I don't think you really can until you've experienced it. But intellectually my mind had an idea about what this was going to be, and I knew that I had some protection around my heart chakra. Most of us do, because we've been hurt, and when we feel hurt and we're sensitive, we just shield the heart. and that extends into our sexual energy and our life force energy, and the problem with that is that we're in resistance to life. We're not really leaning in, we're holding back. For me, on a spiritual path, even though I was growing and expanding and opening my eyes to look with like a new lens, and my consciousness was expanding, there was a vulnerability and a softening that made me feel vulnerable. So unconsciously, my sexual life force energy was pulling back, kind of going into hiding really. It wanted to stay safe because it felt very tender and very sacred and very, that's the bit that I just need to hold back. And I got to a point where I realised that I wasn't tapping into my potential, and I got stuck there. So you know, a lot of my work that I've done, I've been able to heal a lot of parts of myself with teachers and supported communities, but I was really gifted with an experience with Ben of that space being held for me to get me to a point where I asked the question, do you feel worthy of having everything? And that was like a huge awakening, because I was feeling into this life force energy reigniting at the same time as my heart opening, and it was like, can you hold that? Do you feel worthy of that? And yeah, I think that is where this work brings you to. Having an incredible person like Ben hold that space, honouring the sacred feminine, allows you to answer to that question. Yes, I am worthy, because you're being held through the eyes of love, and your body's being honoured, your energy is being honoured by the sacred masculine, and then in that you feel a softening and just a real leaning into your own feminine essence. It really is magical, and I'm trying my best to put words around something that there are really no words for. If you feel called to go and journey deeper with your life force energy and tap into more of your own inner wisdom, then I would highly recommend Ben as a facilitator for that. I think there are few humans able to hold that space, and it was a real gift, and I felt really proud of myself for going into an unknown territory, and really proud of Ben for being able to hold that space for women in the way that he does. It's a very unique, sacred healing experience that I'd recommend, and the after effects of that are feeling really at home in your body, so at home that there's a deep level of trust within your own body to allow